Good evening and welcome to another edition of the HGP Sportscast. I am Stanford Hard with the February 7th news stories. Thanks for joining us. The King Meadows Pansy Adonis Foundation, which was founded back in 2007, have been promoting sports and academia. Now they are seeking sponsorship for athletes. Samuel Gillis reports.
The New Balance National Indoor Championship is an international meet where over 3,500 of the best track and field student athletes from all over the world come together to compete in the USA. This year's meet will be at the Track and Field Center at the Armory in New York City. It is set for Friday to Sunday, March 13th to 15th. The local King Midas and Pansy Adonis Federation is seeking out sponsorship for students who were selected to make the trip. 2 students from Bladen Hall Multilateral, 4 from Bijval Secondary, and 5 from President's College, among others, were selected to make Guyana proud. But according to the KMPA team manager, Shakil Adonis, financing is crucial to make this a reality.
And this year for our event that's coming up in March, the students would have to travel, we have living and food expenses. So we're here pleading with organizations, companies, individuals, whoever wants to chip in, maybe to buy a plane ticket, sponsor a student, anything possible. It doesn't have to be big, anything small. We just want to give the students an opportunity to compete at this international meet.
One of the students who will be participating in this year's meet is Giovanna Cornett of the Business School in Brickdam. She is skilled in the 100, 200 and long jump athletic disciplines and would have achieved gold in these areas at the National Championship November last. According to her, she is putting in the work.
You manage going to school and being an athlete with your training that you have to do and so.
Well, Monday to Wednesdays, our classes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I would normally get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to train, and then go to school in the afternoons. And if I come home and daddy be like, put in a jog or go do some drills in the night, then God gonna do it.
According to the team manager of the KYMPA, one of the aim of the organization is to help local athletes to be recognized by Tier 3 coaches and scouts, as well as providing a space for Guyana to be possibly represented at the Olympics. He also opined that any person, organization, company or federation can donate toward this cause. For HGP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
In football, 24 teams are set to participate in the 8th annual Milo Schools Under-18 football tournament, and the winning team is set to pocket $400,000 Guyana dollars towards a school project. Hear more in this story. It's that time again for the Petros organization's first football tournament of the year, the Milo Schools Football Competition. This is the 8th consecutive year of the tournament, which saw the launching on Friday at the BPAT headquarters in Sophia, Georgetown. The tournament is expected to see 24 teams clashing at the Ministry of Education ground from the 15th of February to the 19th of April. Co-director of Petro organization Troy Mendonca said that the concept behind the tournament is that once the sport is being played on the field, everything else comes into play.
Whatever developmental program or anything else that we put in place, it doesn't matter unless the sport is being played. And this over the past 7 years have been demonstrated with the support from the BPAT company through the Milo brand. So at this point in time, I really want to express our heartfelt thanks for and confidence that the management and staff of BPAT has shown in us.
Bernadette Baker King, head administrator of Allied Arts Unit, stated that it's a pleasure to be invited to such a special occasion and that the ministry is always pleased to be on board to partner with Petro organization.
At the end of the day, that our children will be more grounded. We know it's important that our children are exposed to all aspects of the arts, and physical education and sport is one component that we ensure children are exposed to. We look forward for children leaving school having attained a balanced curriculum And we are very much pleased with Petra because our children are being exposed to physical education and sport.
Brian Joseph, Youth Development Officer, alluded to how the organization contributes to the development of football in the country.
Part that they're playing in the overall development of football in the country. And, currently we're finalizing preparations for the departure of our national under-20 boys to participate in the CONCACAF under-20 championship. And it's important to note that members of that group will participate in this Milo under-18.
Also speaking at the launching was Shalon David, Nestle brand manager, who expressed satisfaction at BPAT's participation in the tournament. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard. The just concluded back-to-back elections held by the Guyana Cricket Board is not sitting well with at least one member of the East Coast Cricket Board. Samuel Gillis with the details.
The Demerara Cricket Board election was quickly followed by that of the Guyana Cricket Board, a clear sign of Mr. Anand Sinasi doing his own thing, according to a representative from the East Coast Board, Mr. Ezzy Peters. With years passing without these two elections being held, and the jury still out on constitutionality of the Cricket Administration Act, Peters finds this latest turn of events interesting. On December 16 last, the court decided it was going into recess until January the 13th. And while that was ongoing, an AGM and elections for the GCB and the Demerara Cricket Board elections were called under the very act the GCB is challenging. A frustrated Peters, who represents the East Coast Cricket Board, is accusing Secretary of the GCB, Mr. Anand Sinasi, of being the man behind all this drama.
Guyana Cricket Board election. Why Mr. Sinasi just run keeping secret election where he keep at Wales Committee Centre ground only with 7 person. 7 person. And that is Mr. Sinasi cronies, them who always support it, who they behind it, and who they for corruptness in this cricket arena. Because look at it, East Coast Cricket Board wasn't no representative at Qatar on behalf of East Coast Cricket Board as an executive. What them do, them form a parallel cricket board on the East Coast to destroy East Coast Cricket Board, which in the parallel cricket board run by Anil Prasad, Jitlal, Babes, a few of them. And all of them was get adjunct by the High Court. Mr. Cummins, all them was get adjunct by the High Court.
Just recently, attorney at law Audrina Gossi debuted a notice by the Guyana Cricket Board for the holding of an annual AGM as a mockery of Guyana's judicial system. As it stands, Peters explained that the East Coast Cricket Board is still up and running, but the parallel committee set up by the Sinasi-controlled GCB is completely sidelining the ECB, and this does not argue well for the development of cricket on the East Coast. Peters further explained that many talents on the East Coast have met the requirements for national selection.
Select any person from the East Coast Cricket Board, that they said East Coast Cricket Board don't select nobody for send to Demerara Guyana Cricket Board. These people are, like I told, these people set up a parallel cricket board on the East Coast named the East Coast Cricket Committee. They select players and they keep their own trials and they select people. So the people who play the East Coast Cricket Board don't get the opportunity to get select, like Zaire Mohammed.
When contacted on Friday, Mr. Anand Sinasi declined to comment on the issue. For HGP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
And in golf, Lusignan Golf Club will come alive this weekend with a pre-Valentine's Day fine wine tournament. Here are the details. The tournament, which has been in the making for over a year now, has finally borne fruit, regardless of the organizers wanting the tournament to be kept on Valentine's Day. The tournament will be hosted on the weekend of the 8th and the 9th of February at the Lusignan Golf Club. According to the president of the LGC, Halim Hussein, the tournament is set to be one of the largest of the year, with some 40 golfers competing over the 2 days.
Looking forward to having a fantastic, the course is in absolute great condition. Players are all excited about this, and I know they're looking forward because part of the prizes this weekend will be bottles of these fantastic wines produced by Ventus Quero at their own vineyards in Chile.
Marcel Shitajan, one of the owners of Wine Vault in the Marriott, said that the establishment had recognized the efforts of the LGC and the development of the game of golf in Guyana.
The white wines, we thought it's perfect for a hot, sunny day. It's fresh, it's fruity, and we're envisioning Sunday to be a hot, sunny day. So come out, we implore Guyanese, come out and support the event and enjoy some of our fine wines. We actually have, even though they're premium wines, we have wines, special prices starting from as low as $2,500 a bottle, moving right up. So we would also, our staff will be there conducting free sampling from 4:30 to 6 in the afternoon. So enjoy some fine wine whilst watching the game.
So
The tournament will start at 12:30 hours and wine sampling at 4:30 to 6 p.m. There will be 3 flights, 0 to 9, 10 to 18, and 19 to 36, so that all categories of players, proficiency, and beginners can be accommodated. A nearest to the pin at the end of the tournament, along with putting contests, will also provide opportunities to win prizes for all in attendance. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard. The National Gymnasium is set to come alive on Saturday as the Magnum Mash Cup winds down to the final 8 teams in the quarterfinals. HGP Sports caught up with organizer Ethan Griffith on Friday, and he shone some light on the tournament and what patrons can expect.
Thank you very much. Certainly tomorrow is going to be a big day down at the National Gymnasium. We're into the quarterfinals round of the Magnum Mash Cup. We have some of the big teams left in the competition. Surprisingly, last night we had a big surprise where the defending champion Spartabus was knocked out of the tournament. But nevertheless, we're going forward, and we have some other big teams in the tournament who are going to bring it the A game, because all the teams are gunning for the big prizes there tomorrow at the National Gymnasium in the quarterfinals to make a chance into a space into the semifinals, which is going to be on the 15th. Some of the games we have surprising team that make it into the quarterfinals, a new team named Spartacus.
In a concerted effort to get regional coaches up to scratch for the overall development of Cricket West Indies, the first of several interactive sessions was held at the Guyana National Stadium on Wednesday. The details in this report from Samuel Gillis.
The interactive event was organized to gain feedback from coaches regarding the challenges faced on and off the field and how CWI can assist in ensuring the respective coaches carry out their duties to better the overall Caribbean performance. West Indies used to be the most dominant force in the world cricket, but over the years, the Maroon side has not been showing up with their A game, which now leaves them a little bit under the top 5. It is initiatives like these that the new executive of the WICB is undertaking in an effort to bring back those glory days. Participating in the session on Wednesday at Providence, Director of Cricket Jimmy Adams expressed confidence that the program will bring about much-needed changes on the field of play. The former left-hander is of the firm belief that the findings from the many workshops to be held can create a climate where world-class players will be a byproduct. For HGP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
And that's all we have for this edition of the HGP Sportscast. I'm Sanford Howard saying thank you for joining us, and do have an enjoyable rest of the weekend. Over to you, Handel.